Alright, hello everyone. So today we're gonna be continuing the cycle of the last video. The first part of when I reacted to this person's content of their worst fan interaction. And I'm honestly hyped because I got a comment on this video, and it wasn't just a random person. It wasn't just a stranger that I don't know. I mean, it is a stranger, I don't know them. It was the frickin' creator themselves. Not only did they say it made them laugh and they watched the full thing, they're also gonna be coming back for part 2. So, that's what I'm gonna give them. They wanted part 2, I'm gonna give them part 2. So, let's get right back into where we left off.
And with that, I banned
Oh my god!
You're not alone in this, don't you?
you have made the community unable to talk and grow by your actions, and you have proven that the feeling of unease due to your presence have shown that you are not welcome here. Goodbye. No, it isn't. Oh, okay. So you ban me then.
Well, use the forget-me stick. Oh, right.
And with that, I banned Hal. And here's proof that I was the one to ban him, because Hal later tries to claim that my boyfriend banned him. Alright, after about, 50 minutes? We're finally getting to the interesting stuff. You guys better buckle up, get some more water, refill whatever snack you were eating, sharpen your pencils.
Sorry, I'll take a drink. Because I just woke up.
If you were drawing while listening to this, we're actually getting into the nitty-gritty of this situation right here.
Look, there is no us, okay? There will never be an us. Find out why.
This
Just
isn't
take a deep
right.
breath and listen
You're
to me for a
supposed to
moment.
be with me.
I'm trying to warn you. Hal?
It's tight.
Banning Aftermath Document 1.
It's Titan, not Hal.
Now, this is the point where I stop referring to him as Hal and start calling him Titan, because I kid you not, 2 hours after we banned him, one of my mods messaged our staff room showing that Titan had messaged him, sending him a Google document. Fish! Send this final link to anyone who will listen. This is everything. We're gonna go through this whole first document to see what he proclaims.
This guy's so dramatic. He can't even stand being banned. And he did it to himself. Like, if he wanted to seem like the guy who was like, oh yes, I understand why you banned me, then just don't say anything. And don't send anything to anyone else, and tell them to send it to others, because that's just wasting their time. Please.
So, here's how this whole thing started. I was 3 strikes in. I was attempting to make a system that would allow me to defend myself properly in the style of the 10 Commandments. Here are the commandments. Here were the commandments. Purple Men's 10 Commandments fuck you style. He then lists his 10 commandments, pretty much copy-pastes it, and you know, since we covered all this stuff from the beginning, most of the stuff I don't have to read to you anymore. Isn't that great? See, the 50 minutes had a purpose.
How fun! We don't have to read that again, but now we're gonna have to get the reading part.
Now, on the surface, this may seem crass, but it's not. It's not crass because they have also cursed in the channels too. Guaranteed not to the extent that I have, but still, they have cursed. I don't know why he makes this seem like an important point. I swear all the time in my videos. I probably swear a lot all in this video already. You're allowed to swear in the Discord if that's what he's trying to say, but, like, you're just not allowed to use slurs or, like, use swears to, like, bully people or something. You're allowed to say fuck, you know? They then give me a temporary role and place me inside a private channel. I was thinking, okay, maybe they want to have a healthy debate on why I did what I did. No, not even close. They threw accusations at me and called me creepy, an asshole, amongst many other things. This alone would have made anyone run. He then posts a bunch of blurry screenshots from our confrontation with him. Because I've had to minimize it, it probably is gonna turn out blurry when I have, like, the bigger versions right next to it. But that's okay, we went through it when we went over the confrontation, so don't worry about it.
So what you're saying is we don't have to go through all of that again. All of that is just from what he saw himself.
We went back and forth until Atlas decided to appear and lay into me, as seen here. My composure remained calm as I was trying to de-escalate the situation with quips or humor. They took offense to this and rightfully called me out. I was shadow banned from the server, not because I loved Cartoonist, but actually because I liked her as a friend, and she didn't feel the same way.
I can object to that. Even if they didn't want to be your friend, that's perfectly fine by them. They don't have to be your friend, buddy. If someone doesn't want to be someone's friend, that's perfectly fine.
Don't view relationships as transactional like many others in this world do. I view them as a way to get to know the other person, and so far things seem to be going okay. Here's some more photos to back up my claims. As you could see, the screenshots he provides are extremely blurry, to the point it's illegible. I provided clear screenshots since I have nothing to hide. I believe that he put blurry screenshots on purpose to try and get people to believe that he was making some kind of coherent statement. Since we've already covered the context of what happened, I already showed that me and my mods did nothing wrong. Let us continue. Titan then tries to make the claim that me and my moderators have called him the following. Names these guys have called me: creepy, weird. Titan, there's a difference between calling you a creep and calling your behavior creepy. Either way, you feeling like you're in the right in this situation is enough for me to say that both of these statements are true, especially when Titan's behavior is only gonna get worse as time goes on.
Thank you. Thank you. Gosh! Thank you so much for noticing that. It's just gonna get worse, so they have all the reason to call him that.
Now, in regards to the words PDF file, Ryan Reynolds, and a cunt, and probably some of the other words on this list were said by Jay, the member I mentioned earlier that has issues with Titan.
Ryan Reynolds. The thanks question mark is what's getting me. I'm not sure if that should be a compliment or not, buddy.
Jay didn't call you a PDF file by comparing you to Herbert the pervert. He was explaining, even in the text that I'm going to read in a moment, that you would appear instantly like the character whenever I was around.
Buddy got referenced to the old ass man from Family Guy, Herbert the pervert, and it actually makes sense. Buddy be appearing at just any time Cartoonist was around. Oh my god. Well, if I got compared to that guy, I'd just call it quits and say, nah, I'm done with this shit. Okay.
The comparison to Ryan Reynolds was to say that Titan thought I'd instantly fall in love with him like people do for Mr. Reynolds. But once again, Jay is just a normal member and not a mod, so making it seem like me or my mod said those things are defamatory in nature. I'm gonna quickly read Jay's message just for full transparency. I only
please.
figured out that this was even said, like, after the fact that we banned him and stuff like that. Listen, bro. You are a goofy goober. First off, you constantly ping people like, holy fuck, we can see you typing. The constant pity of nobody saw me type of shit is sad as hell too. Your convo ended. Stop pinging people to continue the discussion and the attention seeking from the owner. I know you needed someone to obsess over, but you did it so terribly. Say hi every now and then ask questions that they know the answers to you. Fucking Herbert the Pervert style of appearing every time she was around. And the moment she gave you attention once, half the shit I've seen is you pinging her, hoping she notices you.
God damn! Damn, dude! Oh my gosh! He's just going all out, and I love it. Fucking love it.
She wouldn't even be in the conversation and you'd ping her. I'm sure if I were to look at the mentions of maple syrup, half of it would be you. And what made you think that you could suddenly hop in and Ryan Reynolds her? I've been watching these 3 cringe-ass displays of affection since the server started. If they were closer, I'm sure those 3 would have moved in together by now.
Oh my
you
god.
ain't that guy, bucko. Looks ain't your strong suit as well, but shit's done. Mr. Hal, you're weird, you're creepy, and you're downright delusional as well. And yes, you can act like some high-end genius man, but you aren't one. Your designs are amazing, don't get me wrong, but you're cocky and overconfident. How do you offer help and have the person asking for it find out that they know more than you?
My god!
Since the dawn of mankind, humans have
Screw
had
this
one
ad,
obsession:
but god! Jay!
capturing their greatest gaming moment.
Screw this ad, but gosh. Jay, I frickin' love what you just did, dude. Thank you. Also, I'm tired of this ad.
With that context out of the way, it proves that I didn't say those things to you, but they were said, and for that I am sorry on the behalf of those who said those things to you. But what is not okay is taking the sentences like Herbert the Pervert and say that we were calling you a PDF file. That's not okay.
That is nice of cartoonists to actually, even though this is still going on, apologize. Though this was still back when it was still happening. But that's still, I mean, if I had this entire criminal's record, I wouldn't expect a single thing. She apologized, so that's at least admirable.
I forgot which words I already said. Dumbass, asshole, fraud, a liar. I mean, a liar is accurate because this whole document is full of misinformation. Autistic, implied that I have knowledge about other things such as wrestling. The context to that is Atlas was making a joke about himself being autistic, not you, because you were talking about something.
Wrestling wasn't my flavor of autism, so I don't know who they are. God! They're just cooking up the smoke. It is just... They are passing smoke after smoke to this guy, Atlas and Jay. Oh my gosh.
That didn't interest him, so he made a jest saying, "That's not my type of autism." Unfortunately, Titan thinks that everything is about him, so he took it as Atlas calling him autistic. They know my full face, name, and identity. They know my general location, such as state information. They've seen my license, because they said that if I wanted to get into the not safe for work section, that I could do that. We only take the ID pictures and the date of birth to verify that people are adults before adding them to the not safe for work section of the server. It's his own responsibility to censor everything else out. Regardless, we don't keep that information, nor would I do anything to dox you, considering I'm using a fake name for you, Titan, and I will tell the people in the server before posting this video instructing them to keep your username hidden when commenting. The only way that people will know that this is you is if you decide to announce it yourself. The fact that you'd imply that me or my mods would dox you just shows that you don't know me as much as you claimed you do. I've used
Speaking of that, on the behalf of me saying I might join this server later, I would love to, believe me, but... I can't. Unless that's just for the NSFW section. Yeah, I can't, so, sorry.
used all the channels mostly appropriately except for 5 times. What, wasn't this supposed to be a list of things we've called you, Titan? She makes a full video on me, exposing me as a creep, when Cartoonist said, and I quote in response to Atlas, in response to me, it's Goon Noontime, or something to that effect. This point is just a straight up lie. Like, yes, Titan, this is now a video about you. However, when you wrote this on January 29th, I had not yet made any kind of video on you, and I wasn't planning on it until the last thing you did in the middle of March, which we'll get into near the end of this video.
Oh, I wonder what happened in the middle of March. I can't wait to figure it out. Also, we are now officially 1 hour into this. Jesus, we're just 16 minutes into my video. We're gonna try to actually get an hour into this one for her video, because I don't want to wait like 15 more minutes and then it actually be an hour.
Like an actual temple court, instead of letting me defend myself with my reasons. You didn't explain your side when you spent the entire conversation denying and gaslighting and avoiding when we sent you proof on the fact that you said you wanted to be with me despite the fact that I had partners. Posts a Thanos meme in reference to the Purple Men joke from earlier. Titan is so egotistical that he thinks everything I do is with him in mind. We sent that Thanos meme every time we erased the private discussions channel. It wasn't in reference to the weird thing you call my mods. I didn't make a comment about maple syrup at all. Not even fucking close. Maple syrup is the nickname Jay gave me because I'm Canadian. If you're just finding that out now, you're welcome.
Honestly, that's a shocker to me. I didn't know they were Canadian, but I'm just gonna not pause it as much anymore because I know some people just want to watch the video, so I'm just gonna pause it here, then just not pause it again. The ego on this guy is sad, because it's almost like it doesn't exist. If you asked someone who argued with him, like Atlas or Jay, or even Cartoonist herself, if his ego is really that bad, if they showed you this, and you scroll down to that, you'd be like, I don't need to see no more, because that's just ridiculous. That would make me laugh. I wouldn't care to have a Thanos meme in reference if I made a reference to Purple Men. Or someone made a reference to Purple Men about me earlier. I'd laugh.
She used me to help her create dice in Blender, even though she didn't know how to. I've already proven that I wasn't using him. Titan has offered his help to me willingly, and just because I won't date him doesn't mean that I was using his non-existent Blender knowledge. If I was going to use his knowledge, this is what I would have done. I would have sent him the teacher's videos and told him to build it for me and send it to me as an object file. That would be using him. That would make me an asshole, but that's not what I did. They mistake displays of affection as me trying to date them. Huh. I wonder where I got that idea from.
Okay, I know I said... hold on.
I don't have the slightest clue. Seriously though, Titan likes to claim that he only wanted to be friends with me.
I know I said I wasn't gonna pause it anymore, but that just pissed me the fuck off. Displays of affection. Mistaking you for wanting to... Let's read through these one at a time! Even so, I hate it when others lie to me. I'll admit, I kind of have a crush on the cartoonist. I'm gonna use a fucking autistical voice for this motherfucker. But I keep my feelings in because that's not appropriate. Thank you for putting that there. Also, they already have partners, so me being a third party would be us. I figured I'd Ask anyways. I'm not gonna lie. That shit broke my heart. A little. That's already convincing enough. I sort of feel the same way, but I'm willing to kind of try if it's acceptable. To be real here, I feel like it would probably not work out, but I want to at least try. Fair. I think about that a lot. I really like her, but again, as I have said, I need to stop those thoughts. You continued those thoughts and didn't shut the fuck up, because she may not feel the same way. I asked Cartoonist if she liked me, and she said no, but I said to myself, that's okay, Hal. I just have to move on. It doesn't mean we can't still be friends. I hate this guy so much. I'm going to have to say this again, but I meant that. I want to be friends with you because I realized that it wasn't going to work out the way I thought it would. These are all just you lying. You said you didn't want to have that. You had it. You had it coming. Alright. Sorry. Alright, let's continue.
But that doesn't explain any of his actions so far. I pinged Jay one time. He fucking hates me now. I replied to Jay 10 to 20 times as he wanted.
That's not the reason! That's not the reason! It's because you kept pinging others!
He fucking hates me now. I stopped pinging people. I stopped talking to people like how I usually do. I'm not gonna touch this because I'm not responsible for beef you had with another Discord member, especially if neither of you told me about it happening. If you had told me, I could have found a solution to solve any animosity between you and Jay. You're both adults. You either solve it on your own, or you come ask for my help. You can't just not ask for my help and then pretend it's my fault when nothing was done. I can't watch a Discord server with over 1,000 people 24/7 with a dozen different chats, you know? I'd like to continue making videos. What I'm trying to say is that you should have came to me like an adult.
If she had constantly been watching over her Discord, this video would not have came out. This video wouldn't have happened.
I've explained several times why I do what I do, plainly and calmly without cursing. They have all buried their heads in the sand when I explain why I do what I do because I have autism. That isn't an excuse, but even still, I am ignorant sometimes about when to talk and when not to talk.
You know what, I was gonna say something, but I'm just not gonna say it.
Now, I
She's
might
gonna
not
say
be
it.
autistic, but I'm sure people with autism would agree with me that having autism doesn't force you to do all this stuff, like trying to get with a taken woman, getting
Thank you! Thank you! That's why I didn't say it, because she was probably gonna say it.
upset when they don't want to date you, making a list of very aggressive rules and getting upset when you're rightfully banned. And side note, I just hate when people bring up their mental illness as a way to get away from their actions. Like, here, let me do the same real quick. I have depression, anxiety, and social anxiety. But you know what? When I fuck up, even if it's caused by one of those things, I still take accountability for it and do my best to try and make amends. I don't hide behind it because it's not something I can change. So all you really can do is take accountability for your own actions. I have mentioned this to Scythid beforehand. If no proof exists, just see the logs. I gave others advice on how to approach situations that make life harder, give them actionable solutions to fix these problems. I felt horrible after being ignorant about Atlas's wife when talking about a hypothetical scenario.
Wife? I'm not sure they were married at the time, buddy. Because, from what I'm understanding, they're still just dating, not married. I mean, if they get married, I will not be surprised. All three of them.
On criminal justice. and I was forgiven for these misdeeds even though I wasn't by both Atlas and Aqua. And he said, on any other day I would have forgiven you if it was not so close to when my wife had passed. Titan, if we weren't off track before, we
I make amends for what I said. Apologies.
certainly are now. What happened to this being a list of what me and my mods have allegedly called you? Now it's just stuff that you've done, like, fully. If you're gonna categorize things in the first place, at least make sure they're organized, because all this stuff from then on is just categorized under things he's been called.
I have a problem with organization. If someone's not organized, I'm pretty sure Cartoonist is the same way. I will immediately call that person out. I'm gonna be like, okay, this is pretty bad or pretty good. Hey, have you ever thought about organizing it a little bit better? Putting some stuff up here, some stuff at the middle, some stuff at the bottom, or maybe just not making it in general. Because Buddy's just exposing himself at this point.
I gave Cartoonist advice on her problems when she asked me, and she proceeded to ignore the above statement and destroy me for being me because I may have acted autistic. Wait. I honestly have no idea what advice he gave me, but even still, it's advice. The person is not forced to do what you suggest. If someone is asking what color they should dye their hair, and I say pink, and the next day they show up with blue hair, I'm not gonna accuse them of destroying me and ignoring my advice. And I would never destroy anyone for just giving me advice. I love getting advice, even if I don't use it, because I love knowing what others think. But logically, it's impossible for me to follow everyone's advice all the time, and at the end of the day, I have to do what I think is best when it's in regards to something I have to do by myself.
Thank God, it's a breath of fucking fresh air. Someone actually speaking fucking logical terms. Thank you, Cartoonist! Thank you! Goodness gracious. Alright, calm down.
I only made memes to make people laugh and not creep them out. These memes includes mentions of inappropriate things such as the Bahamut from Berserk or cognitive behavioral therapy. But they were always framed in a joking manner, always placed in appropriate channels and never overly creepy, and I stopped when I went too far. Okay, the memes are gonna be something that he's fixated on. Basically, in conversations people were having in the server, Titan would often interrupt them by sending memes that had nothing to do with the conversation, when we literally have a spot for people to specifically just send memes. They muted me for 5 minutes when saying that nobody was there within the chat. This too was a joke, because they were ignoring me. I have no idea what in particular he's stating here. My mods are required to state when they mute people or time them out or delete messages. However, I do have an auto mod that mutes people when they spam more than 15 messages in under a minute, and the punishment for members who spam under those conditions get, oh what a surprise, they get muted for exactly 5 minutes with a warning being like, whoa, like slow down, you know? And I mean, I could be completely wrong about that, but my mods always state when they time out or mute people or whatever. I lied to Jay, Scythed, Atlas, and Aqua about me being into her. I destroyed any chance of a friendship because I had made a rule set for myself to properly follow.
What happened to this being a list of things that they said to you? Buddy, you're just exposing yourself! You are just... It started with what the list was meant to be. And it is just gradually getting worse and worse as the time... I'm so sorry, there are 2 bugs in my room, and they have been obnoxiously bugging me. Pun intended.
They will regret their decision in maybe 20 years because of their pride and understanding about myself, as I will grow from this experience and become the ultimate version of myself. Titan, to be quite honest with you, the only thing I regret is not banning you sooner.
Whoa.
Oh
What's
my
that?
gosh.
I just built a budgeting app with Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
I feel sad because of this failure to communicate that I wanted to be acquaintances with her, so she said that you're a creep, with no other reason other than that I was joking too hard, which I was.
I'm gonna lose it. You said you wanted to be acquaintances. You're the one who, like, typed, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 15 times, I don't know, 10 to 15 times that you are into her. Then, when you were getting accused of it, and when you said something about it, you immediately backtracked. You got scared and tried to say, no, I was just trying to be her friend. That's creepy. People are gonna say that's not creepy. That's creepy, though. It's also a lot of other things that make it creepy.
Up until this point, Titan had never said it was a joke when he has had multiple opportunities to say so before he was banned. Even so, hypothetically, if we were to believe that he was indeed joking, why would he continue to double down after I was clearly uncomfortable? Whenever I make a joke and it's clearly not perceived as one, I apologize and never do it again. Also, who makes a joke about wanting to make it work with a taken woman who's been assaulted before? That is terrifying, and not any kind of joke you should make with a woman who doesn't know you. Anyways, I also want to point out that Titan's story changes constantly and will continue to change even within the same document. It'll go from, I just wanted to be her friend, to, I don't want any kind of relationship with you, to, I just lost the opportunity to have a friend, to, I was just joking the whole time. You know? I wasn't even making any advances towards Atlas Aqua or Cartoonist, just being friendly. If you need any more help, just let me know after the 16-minute discussion with Cartoonist, as mentioned in her new upcoming video.
She never made a video about you till this point, buddy. I don't know what you want.
I've only been able to make this video after I finished my college finals, but I only considered making a video after the 5th thing he did, after he was banned, because he wouldn't just let the situation go, and that's just the stuff I know about. Imagine all the things he's doing without my knowledge in regards to me and the situation. That shit broke my heart a little, was in reference to this very scenario. Good job. Do any of you see how this is wrong? If not, why? Yes, Titan, as I've already gone through so far and will continue to analyze, there's a lot of holes and missing context towards your claims, and your claims are only going to get worse, which is what leads to me having to do this.
Your shading is beautiful, by the way, Cartoonist. You said you're gonna see the part 2 video. You're gonna hear me saying this. Your shading is beautiful. Like, I couldn't do any better, is what I'm saying. I'm a horrible artist. Yeah, I'm horrible at it. I couldn't draw a stick figure if my life depended on it.
Are only gonna get worse, which is what leads to me having...
I also like the acorn mailbox right here. I will probably make a whole separate video about all the nice things I could say about this. You know what, matter of fact, hold on. Whoops. I was trying to take a screenshot. Is it? You know what, I'll take a screenshot later.
To do this.
It's work, 24/7, and for what? I only took the gig to get the girl, and it turns out Roxanne doesn't want anything to do with me.
After this, my mod who received this document asked why Titan made this. and he said it was to avoid me making a video on him. My mod told him that the only way I'd make a video on this situation is if he continued doing stuff like this. Does he take my mod's advice and stop his behavior? Well, let's find out. People in the Discord server started telling me that Titan was sending this document to him, and they were asking me if what he was saying was true. So I had to make an announcement in my server to give my side and to tell everyone what was going on so far, and the screenshots provided. If Titan wasn't going to provide context, then I would. If you want a recap, you can just pause to read my summary on the situation. But I feel like now that a few weeks have passed,
Or if you want to recap, you could go watch my video. Maybe hit the like and subscribe button while you're at it, please. Please, please.
I would have done this announcement a lot differently. I would have done it with a calmer head. It's just, like, my story hasn't changed. It's just the way I delivered that story that I would change, you know? 100%, I'm sure some of you might think that that announcement sounds a bit emotionally charged, but think about it this way. Usually when we ban people, no matter what the reason, we never see or hear from them again, because these people realize that their behavior wasn't acceptable even if they don't personally agree with it.
Or they just realize they're not able to get back in, like, ever, so they just give up. I've never been banned from a server, but if I did get banned, that's what I would realize. Unless I'm, like, friends with someone in the server, I might try to talk to them and figure things out. But sometimes the best solution is just to stop it while it's all hot and stuff and just let it chill. Just let it calm down and stop it. Goddamn bugs. Ugh.
I was taken completely off guard and upset that I have to continue to deal with his behavior even though I thought the situation was over. Some people thought my announcement was unnecessary to do, however, considering after this he continues to DM people about it, and people only knew to report it to me after I made this announcement, it's important for me to let people know what actually happened. Therefore, I apologize for it being unprofessional of me. However, I don't...
It's actually not unprofessional, but it's not professional at the same time. Letting the group know about who this guy is, who's randomly DMing people about stuff that they weren't even a part of, telling them to report it to you afterwards, it's actually not unprofessional. It's actually probably one of the better things you could have done, instead of, like, going around telling few people about it. Making the announcement let everyone in the group know about it, and be aware of who it would have been to randomly DM them. Though if anyone got a random DM, they'd probably talk to the one they were talking about.
Regret making it in general. It was important for people to know, even me reading it before putting it in this video, I could have definitely formatted my statement better. Plus, like I said, if he's allowed to bring it to other people's attention, why shouldn't I? Especially if people are asking me about it and I can't physically answer every single message I get.
And the hero strikes the first blow, but evil returns with a backhand! Yes!
That night after I made the announcement, Titan made a group chat and filled it with as many of my fans from the Discord as he could and sent him this Google document. The problem is that
Right.
half of them explicitly stated that they do not want to be involved with him. Originally, I was going to read through this entire group chat, but obviously we've already gone through a lot, so instead I'll only read what I deem as important, or what I need to provide external context for.
So he's forcing people to be a part of this, even when they say they don't want to be a part of it. That's just great.
This is so that people who are just listening will still have a decent amount of context, and those who want to see all the evidence for themselves to make their own conclusion can just pause the video and read the screenshots.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
So far, Titan...
No offense, but I'm not just gonna read that. If anyone wants to pause it, they can.
talks about the situation where he upset Atlas, and then goes on to talk about how Jay didn't like him. I only pinged Cartoonist when I had genuine questions for her. I never actually harassed her in any way other than trying to joke a little bit. I was never trying to come between those three. I never wanted the kind of relationship that they were suggesting, and wasn't being overly inappropriate, as these were adult channels and not general channels. He then posts a long list of memes. The memes were not the issue. It was the fact that Titan was interrupting other people's conversations with the memes that were not relevant to what was happening, therefore making people uncomfortable. And how does this justify them banning me? Because I said I only wanted to be acquaintances with Cartoonist?
I could make my own video talking about this guy. Not gonna, though, because that's a waste of my time. And in addition, we don't want to make any more videos about him. Because this video itself, I'm not sure if it's still going on with her till this day. This was a year ago, though. So I'm not sure if he's still even around, or if he's even a problem, or if we want to even refresh him again, so probably just want to keep him down.
Doesn't state the actual reason he was banned. The fact he said he wanted to date me, but it would suck because I already have partners. How he would want to make things work with me regardless, then making a list of absurd rules after he was rejected, and then when confronted on these behaviors, just so we can see if we can get him to cut it out and resolve this issue, only for him to deny the evidence right in front of his face instead of apologizing and doing better. That's what resulted in his ban. We knew he wasn't going to change his behavior and will continue to make advances towards me, because he refuses to understand that saying he wants to make it work with a woman who has stated multiple times that she's not interested and has been assaulted before is kind of fucking scary.
Hey, did you know?
Oh, nah.
You could.
Y'all don't know, you might know this. I got major beef with AI. That's just a little thing I want y'all to know.
My mods and my...
I just got major beef with AI. I don't like it. Not even a bit.
My partners and myself don't want me to be put into a position like that because it's clear that it will continue to be an issue. It was clear, and it will continue to be clear that you don't deserve to be a part of my community. Look at it like this. You meet a famous person in a bar, you talk to them a little bit, you get to know who they are as a person, and you say, I hope you're doing well today, and they say, fuck you, dude, as—
It's not what they said, and that's not even close to the comparison you were trying to make it.
It's a response. Would that not be jarring? Considering all I've shown so far, not once did I say fuck you. A more accurate representation in what happened in the scenario that you have given is that you're in a bar, meeting a famous person, they're with their significant other, and yet you say, I know you have a boyfriend, but can I date you anyways? After they say no and call security on you because you kept getting more pushy towards them, you deny making any advances at all and say that the famous person called security on you for trying to be their friend. In addition, any comments that I have made about Cartoonist, Atlas, or Aqua were dark humor and were not meant to be taken literally. Because it was in the proper channels, or adult channels. Titan, I can guarantee you there is no appropriate channel to be flirting with me, sir. And if Titan actually took the time to get to know me as a person, he would know that I wasn't okay with that kind of joke, if it was a joke, which we know it's not. Because no one in their right mind would double down on a joke when it's so blatantly clear that we didn't see it as one. And no one who got banned for saying a joke will continue to defend their joke. If you're banned for a shitty joke, it's a Discord server, it's not life or death here. People who get banned from anywhere for making a shitty joke just move on because they realize that they can just go somewhere else. Now, I'm not saying I have a right to a relationship because I don't, but handling it this way has made everything 10 times worse because I felt betrayed by being myself. Tweaking out and banning me because your feelings got hurt and you can't handle rejection isn't my direct fault. Psst. Titan. That sentence about tweaking out after being rejected actually applies to you, not me. Silly.
That's what I was gonna fucking say. You talking about rejection, buddy. You were the one who got rejected. Not Cartoonist. She rejected you.
Moreover, did I ever say the words, "I'm going to do sus things to Cartoonist now," or anything else related to me doing anything physical or emotional to her? You people are the reason why we need to reevaluate our decisions and become adults and stop using TikTok. You can't—
You're the one using all this stupid shit! I don't want to hear that!
Can't even accuse me correctly. Cartoonist said, and I quote, "You're obsessed with me," and in another breath says that I was being inappropriate towards her. Make up your mind, please! As I've shown, I have not stated that, although I don't have proof of the beginning of our confrontation with you. When I remember when I presented the fact with proof that you said you had a crush on me, you stated, "What, you think I'm obsessed with you?" And I said, "No," and then something along the lines of, "But the way that you're acting is inappropriate towards me." Because Titan likes to do this thing where he thinks of something and automatically assumes that because he thinks it, that's what happened or that's what every other person believes. You'll be seeing a lot of that later, but he got it into his mind that I think he's obsessed with me when I don't think that at all. I just think that he's being really weird and inappropriate and stubborn and doesn't understand what he did wrong when we plainly explained it to him that his behavior was not appropriate.
They have written it out in multiple sentences, dude. Like, where do I begin to insult him now? I don't. I just watched the video.
Did I ever once—
It's almost an hour long right now, and we're only an hour and 20 minutes into hers. So I'm just gonna probably shut up from the rest of this. Sorry, it's not good content. So, yeah.
mention kids in the logs, or harass cartoonists directly or even indirectly? Or was I trying to emulate what I saw around me and fit in? Because God forbid, somebody a little different than you wants to understand and fit in with you, right? Emulate whom? Because no one in the server makes those kinds of comments towards me in the time that you were a part of it. And the fact that I've made videos on the fact that I've been verbally harassed while working, and mentioned my sexual assault in videos as well, whenever I try to explain my mental state at the time when those things are happening, and how anxious I get around people, especially men, after my assault, why would you ever think to say that, even as a joke? Which we know you weren't joking, as I've said. TLDR, cartoonists thought I had liked her because of some unrelated comments not related to her, but comments I was giving to Mustard for advice. I made a series of commandments for proper interactions with them because they just straight out ignored me. Unrelated to me. Titan, are we even looking at the same conversation? Also, since we've gone through the list of commandments already, did anyone think that anything on that list was to help anyone have interactions with people? And making them because I, quote, ignored you? Titan, my world and my moderator's worlds don't revolve around you, especially because during the time all this stuff was happening, I was sick. My thoughts at the time weren't, oh, I gotta make sure Titan of all people doesn't think that I'm ignoring him, especially after all his unwanted advances towards me. I said I didn't like her the way she thinked I did, had a fit, and made her boyfriend ban me. As I've shown and proven, I didn't have a fit. And I was the one to ban you after your refusal to take accountability and make changes. If we had noticed you taking what we said to heart, apologized, and shown that you were gonna improve your behavior, we would have let you stay. But no, you denied and avoided accountability. He then sends his Google document that we've already gone over, and invites a handful of people from my server. Half the people he invited states that they want to hear my side before drawing their conclusion, and the other half states that they don't want to be involved, and yet were brought into the group chat anyways. Oh my god! I don't think Cartoonist is a bad person, I'm just horrified at the situation. Also, what the fuck? I live in North America. I was asleep when this shit went down.
Oh god.
The rules were never for everyone in the server to follow, by the way. Just them. And even then, it was optional. Okay, so anyways, the crush that she's talking about was me saying that I liked her, but again, not in a way that would replace Atlas nor Aqua. Again, here he is, contradicting himself. He confesses that he does want a relationship with me, but not in a way that would replace Aqua and Atlas. Because if he wanted a friendship like he claimed, why would replacing my partners be of any concern to him? Plus, we already knew this because he stated the fact that he still wanted to try, but being a third party would suck. Either way, I've explicitly stated in videos that we are content in our poly relationship and we don't want to invite any more people into it. And even if he wouldn't replace my partners, I'm still not interested. I hate when people assume that people will just date them because they have feelings for them. I'm a person. I have free will just as much as you do. You're allowed to have a crush on a content creator, but when you start talking about how you'd want to make it work regardless of their relationship status, that is when we are allowed to intervene.
You can have a crush on anyone for all I care, because that's just you. That's just your personal... That's your personal mind waves going at work, but... When you properly admit it... No, not properly admit it. You didn't do it properly at all, buddy, actually. When you just say it out flat like that, and say you're gonna give it a shot, when you know it's not gonna work out, that's when they're allowed to intervene. That's what she's saying, I think. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know. I'm just going off of everything I'm hearing, so... Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody.
Titan then asks the other members in this chat to try and spread the word as much as possible and invite them in the group chat so they can see what has happened. If not, that's fine too. I just wish to prevent similar mistakes like this from happening to anyone again. I'm not asking for myself to be unbanned. I'm only saying this so that others may know of these problems, so that they may be fixed. Do you want me to invite Atlas to chat? No! That would only make things worse. I would invite Lilac and Eggshell if that's okay.
Oh my gosh.
The only reason why I said this is that the last time Atlas had banned me, so why would he wish to listen?
You're scared of Atlas, buddy. Just admit it. You're scared of Atlas. I would be too.
Klondike with brutal cold. Can you survive? Build a warm camp and hold out.
I hate AI.
Said, if you feel as if you need to add him, I won't stop you. Alright, I will try to add them. Of course Titan wouldn't have wanted to invite my boyfriend, who could have just immediately shown why all of his statements are wrong. He'll later blame me and my boyfriend for not joining this group chat with him, even though we didn't know that this was going on until later. And also just the plain fact that he told this member not to invite my boyfriend. Anyways, this member, we'll just call him Sky, was helping him because he was manipulated by Titan, simply because he doesn't understand English very well. And when we spoke to Sky, he explained that Titan made it sound like me and him only had a misunderstanding, and not that I banned him because he was making continuous unwanted advances towards me and getting worse and worse every day before we banned him.
Sky, you were working with the wrong one. I feel sorry for Sky. They're being manipulated here, so I feel horrible for Sky.
Hey, Lilac! I explicitly said no. Lilac is another member who specifically said they didn't want to talk to him. It's one thing passing this document of lies to people, it's another thing forcing them to interact with you. Titan somehow manages to get Lilac to read his statement. I mean, regardless of what the situation was right now, you're not helping your case. I've provided every piece of evidence related to what has happened. I am not trying to improve my case. What are you trying to do? I'm trying to make others knowledgeable about what happened so that it does not happen to them in the future.
If he says some stupid shit, if there's some stupid shit said like that one more time, I'm gonna fucking punch something. I'm gonna punch my desk, I'm gonna punch my wall, I'm gonna... Y'all might hear y'all might not.
Everything shown within these documents does include proper context. I will say that I have never had a crush on the cartoonist in the way you think I did. Have you
ever... There's the punch if y'all wanted to know.
Ever seen one of those pain scales? Titan, people don't accidentally confess on having a crush. Everyone knows that having a crush expresses a desire for a romantic relationship, whether or not they decide to actually act upon those feelings. Not only did you express that you had a crush on me, you also expressed that you would actively have a relationship with me, regardless if I wanted to replace my existing partners or not. There aren't that many ways of having a crush. You can like somebody as a friend, but not as a person that you want to spend your life with. Now, I'll
not what
say
you
the
said.
wording was bad, but I didn't mean it that way. Let's view this as a relationship scale for a minute. The fact that this is a pain scale is just for comparison. I only ever wanted to be on a 1, and not anything else. I also knew that it may never even have been a possibility. I was never tempting to replace Atlas nor Aqua.
Nor did you ever say you were gonna try to, you just wanted to try and get in the relationship. You never said at first you were trying to replace them. You said at first you were gonna try to get in the relationship, but you didn't want to because being a third party would be an ass.
Bud. I was saying that I wanted to be an acquaintance, not a BFF or anything else. What is this? The key word is wanted. This is a comparison of the relationship scale. Again, comparison, not how I actually feel. The scale is not how I feel, guys. Peach added Jay to the group. So please don't take that out of context.
Oh, now that's the spirit! Parry! Thrust! Parry again! Now it's time for some
Jay joins the group chat. Alright, Jay, smoke him!
back and forth banter! You go first! Okay, look, I'm not sure where to go with that!
Now, for some backstory, when I first opened the server in December 2023, Jay had joined the server and another person was reporting him for his language. This was before I had an auto mod and I was the only person moderating my server, so I had to rely a lot on feedback and like people letting me know about the stuff that's going on. So I put Jay into his own private discussion and I told him that he wasn't allowed to say slurs as it's against the rules and he was remorseful, so we made a deal. If he doesn't say any more slurs within my server, he'd be allowed to stay. and it's been more than a year and a half, and he hasn't said it within my server. I don't agree with the use of slurs, that's just how I was raised, but I know a lot of people who were raised in places where slurs are not a big deal at all. So I can only control what's said in my server, I can't control what people do outside of it. Especially because Jay isn't a mod, he's a random server member, one out of thousands and thousands of fans. I can't control what people say outside of the realms of my control. The only place I can control what people say is within my server, and like within comments. And I already scolded him very, very harshly for what's going to happen next. Like I said, I'm not condoning his language use at all, but you just need to be aware that Jay grew up in a place where saying these words is not, like, a bad thing for him. Oh no! Sup, N-word. I felt uncomfortable even doing that, but it's okay because I'm doing it in a New Jersey accent in the middle of my room. I thought to myself, just bleep it out, but I'm like, no, that's gonna make it seem like I actually said it. And I wouldn't. So that's why this part is in here.
My gosh.
Hi! Whoa! Racism! Fuck type of shit I got going on.
Oh my
As
god.
you can see, Jay kind of messes with Titan a little bit, trolls him a little bit. I only knew about this whole group chat's messages in like a few minutes after Jay shows up. And I immediately told him to not say that word anymore in that group chat because he's just gonna make everything a whole lot fucking worse. Titan then confronts Jay on the other words that he called him.
Oh my gosh!
So then, are my points not at least a little right then? Titan, your points are not correct because in the way that you formatted your document, you make it sound like me or my mods said that stuff to you, when most of it was said by Jay. If you had beef with Jay, you should have told me or my mods and one of us could have discussed things with him. I can't read minds, Titan. I can't do something about it unless I know what's going on. Titan, can you please not throw a fit? You're an adult. If you ask someone if they like you, that's a proposal, meaning, would you like to be in a relationship with me? You're not in middle school.
Oh!
This is so childish. Even after everything you did, you could have been mature and just left quietly. I never said, would you like to be in a relationship with me? I wasn't implying that either. Titan, you were heavily implying it, and the way you continue to try and get back at me and discrediting me for rejecting you just shows that you're scorned from the fact I refused to be with you. And if you guys are wondering why I sometimes speak to Titan directly during this, it's because I know he's gonna watch this. Anyways.
Oh, he's gonna watch this and be pissed.
I just thought of this now, after
He
like
probably
all
already
these
did.
months. His friend argument, like him just saying that he wants to be my friend argument, doesn't work because he clearly knows distinctly how to ask between would you like to be a friend and saying I have a crush on this person. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, his excuse doesn't work because he already asked that question and got a no, and then he asked a relationship question, and then he's just straight up denying that he asked a relationship one. The group chat goes off track for a moment as they just talk, and then Jay returns and then reestablishes what he meant by his Herbert the pervert joke. Again, like, it just meant that he would show up when I showed up. It didn't have anything to do with pedophiles. Here, Jay continues to mess with Titan, going through each and every meme Titan sent at the beginning of this group chat and giving his ranking of each of them, mostly saying mid. Jay's the type of guy who isn't afraid to let you know if he doesn't like you or do something wrong. However, for dealing with someone like Titan, it isn't exactly helpful because Titan will later claim that whatever Jay did was me doing it, and last time I checked, my name is Jess, not Jay. I'm only responsible for my own actions. It would be like if you were to charge a policeman with a theft that a citizen did. The cop is supposed to stop the citizen's behavior, not be put into prison for the action that someone else committed.
It's what a lot of Karens accuse of officers doing whenever they're getting arrested. Never ends out good for them in court.
Awaken to Fantasy 14 Online.
Yes, because I know I'm close enough to them. You just joined, you don't know what you're allowed to get away with. Cool, but some of those were related to me. You can look back at the logs, but both Atlas and Cartoonist were talking about gooning in reference to Rule 3. What Jay is trying to say here is that when you get to know someone, you learn how to conduct yourselves around them. If he had actually taken the time to get to know me and listen to why I rejected him, instead of fantasizing about dating me, Titan would see that I don't get jokes a lot of the time. I'm just naive like that, and I have a lot of trust issues. So regardless of whether or not he's telling the truth about joking or not, he shouldn't have said that to me regardless because of my bad history with men. And just for the simple fact that I'm taken. I'm sure a lot of people in relationships don't want strangers coming up to them and saying that they have a crush on them, whether it's a joke or not. That's just not the kind of joke that you make to someone. She didn't get rejected, you got rejected. What rejection? The logs can confirm that I said I wanted to be acquaintances with her. You mentioned in a public chat you had feelings and you wanted to try something, and she shut you down, and then shit happened. Cool, so they can just say my rules, goon rules, but the moment I say anything remotely weird, I'm the bad guy. Titan then said he made his 10 commandments as a way to cope with stress, but also in the same paragraph reiterating that it's a joke at the same time. Titan then accuses Jay that he called him a pedophile, and as we've gone over already, the Herbert the pervert joke was the fact that Jay was comparing him to the fact that Herbert just shows up whenever Chris is around. That story has not changed from the moment he said it. Then they go on debating Chris's age. I don't think Family Guy, of all things, is something to be judging morality on, considering the jokes they do in that show. Jay was strictly doing a comparison of his actions. He wasn't stating that Titan is a pedophile.
Every time.
Titan then asks Jay for proof.
Every time she arrived, you manifested out of the shadows. He's not wrong. He's not wrong!
On how often he would ping me. Titan, even before this whole situation, I got weirded out by you and questions and concerns. You always talked to her like she was your close friend, even when she said she didn't see you as one. Because I said comrade cartoonist, or little homie, or even homie? Those are all terms for friends! Because you were crossing the boundaries of a stranger online, and this is coming from a girl. You're a stranger to cartoonists, and that's all you ever were or would be, so your mannerisms were not justified. This member makes a really good point. Trust me, I love you guys as my fans, and I can tell that you guys really care about me, but in reality we are strangers, and I do my best to not make you guys feel like you're strangers when interacting with you, but that's the reality of the situation. It would be impossible for me to know you as much as you know me, and that's just the truth of it all. Yeah, I know that I'm a stranger. I didn't expect to be anything more than that. Imagine a person you never knew started talking to you like you're their sibling. I never wanted to be her sibling. What? Do you not understand how examples work?
He clearly doesn't, because he's taking this all the wrong way.
I do understand how examples work. I've given like 4 examples of how this does not work in practice. You nitpick at every word you said, and how that's not what you meant. That's the same logic as saying, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. Because it's not what I meant! Even if that's not what you meant, that's how it strongly came off as, not only to me, but to others in the server. Intention does not equal impact, and if the impact isn't what you intended, you have to do something to make amends for the people that you've hurt. That's how you get people to trust you again. No, it's never what you meant. I'm trying to be thorough with my assessment of everything that has happened from my point of view. To you, do you like me was not like you, stop type beat. You're being an annoying prick involving randos. Because I don't have a voice. You're throwing a fit. No! You don't need a voice. I do! You're not gonna get executed because of this, so that this doesn't happen to others, my ass. And what if she makes a video about me, huh? What then? Well, I hope she does now, lol. You could have been a regular person after all this, and just said you didn't realize what you did. Cool! Well, I didn't, and I still don't. And requested specifically not to make a video on this. I guarantee you, if you didn't throw a fit and said this, what fit? Cartoonist would have forgotten about this. Jay returns with a screenshot of how often Titan would ping me. This was just the first 2 seconds of me looking at my log notifications from just the day we banned him and the day before that. That's not even counting the amount of times he would reply to me without pinging. I try so hard to talk to my fans in the server equally, but it was so hard when it was just Titan who kept showing up when I wanted to interact with other fans a little bit too. The reason you're still talking is your ego, Mr. Nice Guy. I repeatedly advocated that it didn't get discussed in the server, but now I hope everyone knows how fucking annoying you are. Incel, a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women not safely, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women and men who are not safely active. Was I doing anything above? Titan? An incel is someone who identifies as involuntarily celibate, which usually just means that they blame society and women for the fact that they can't get laid. I said your behavior is—
So you're blaming cartoonists for the fact that you can't pull? Is that it? Is that it?
very incel-like, because as soon as I rejected you, that's when your behavior started going downhill. So tell me again, why did you add me to this group chat? To state to you why this issue may affect other people, not to win you over, as you are thinking right now, assuredly. The only way this has affected other people is how you're annoying people you don't know. By providing actual evidence, I doubt this. Evidence my ass. Every argument you have is how you didn't mean what you said. I proved evidence. And having screenshots, and yet you deny it. And other people were just supposed to—
You have screenshots of your own, Titan. You're saying they're true. When they show their own screenshots, though, that's when you deny it, is what Jay's saying. You show your own screenshots, you're like, this is how it went. When others show their screenshots, you're like, that didn't happen. Even if it's got your fucking texts in it, you would probably still say the same goddamn thing. It didn't happen.
To read your mind psychically. I was talking to Mustard. Then why was she getting pinged by you? I pinged her because I thought she was ignoring me. Like I said before, I have autism, so it's hard for me to gain understanding about social cues. If she was ignoring you, it's more of a reason to not ping her, and leave her alone. I'm a junior level psychiatrist, and autism doesn't give you a right to be an asshole.
Ooh! Hit him with the asshole.
I wasn't an asshole, though. Here, let me show you the definition of masking. Titan, you are not entitled to my time.
Hold on, I'm gonna
definition of
I'm gonna say what he said. No! You were an ass canyon. Shut the fuck up.
masking. Titan, you are not entitled to my time. No one is. And same goes for me. I'm not entitled to anyone's
time we got left?
So the fact that you
Alright,
are so
there.
entitled that you think it's okay to be constantly messaging and pinging a YouTuber because you think they're ignoring you is insane. It's a privilege to talk to someone that you look up to. I try my best to give everyone a chance to have a small interaction with me while my channel is still quote-unquote small. Yet you behaving so incredibly inappropriately like that could ruin that experience of talking to me for everyone. Because after this situation, I wouldn't engage in my server nearly as often out of fear of creating another Titan. I don't want to talk to my fans as nicely anymore just so that they don't think I'm leading them on. Considering I'm so socially anxious, the server was actually helping me realize that not everyone is bad, and you ruined that for me. Titan then continues to send definitions of words to avoid accountability because this user is telling him that he shouldn't be blaming his actions on his autism. I need
Hold on, let her
to
finish.
tell you guys that Titan is in his 20s. He is well grown enough to know by now and to
This guy's like fucking way older than the hell I am. And yet, I understand this a lot more than he does. Like, buddy. Shut the fuck up. You could have been a grown-ass... You are a grown-ass man. You could have solved this. Like, an adult. Had a normal conversation. Things get said. Okay? It's life. Some things get said wrong. That's just how life is. We can't always control how things get worded to people. I'm not sure if I killed the fly either, though. But if you wanted to actually resolve it like you've been saying and try to get people to understand, you could have had an actual conversation with them and talk like an adult instead of throwing a fit over and over again. There's the fucking fly. And repent for what you did. Also apologize for being a creep. Jesus Christ.
Understand that even if his actions are skewed by his autism, he's still responsible for what he does. I hate it when people use their mental health to hide from the bad stuff they do. Everyone has some kind of struggle. Everyone has different things that they need to deal with, but it's our job as individuals to navigate the world despite those struggles. If we do something wrong to someone else, then we need to still own up to it. Sure, our struggles can explain our motivations, but that doesn't change the impact our actions have on other people.
Oh! Sick 'em!
You're the punk I've heard about.
Stop watching this ad. Go to Wix and grab your domain.
Woo! 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 The girlfriend joins the battle, bitch!
Going somewhere? Besides jail?
Then Jay suddenly adds my girlfriend into the group chat, and she's eagerly wanted to tear into him once we were made aware of this group chat, especially because she knows deeply what I've had to deal with, and she wanted this Titan guy to stop stressing me out.
The fucking ghost saying shh. Okay.
After some pleasantries, Aqua is told by Titan to read over his document before talking to him. Okay, I've read everything. Yeah! You think it's not true, huh? Or something, maybe, I don't know. Here's what I'm going to say. Aqua then
Drum
sends
roll!
a block of text. I'm only butting in here so that you can see the screenshot slightly before she says that. Anyways.
Shut the fuck up!
So, let's start off with you liking Cartoonist. You can have a crush on her, but vocalizing it in public like that is weird as hell. Also, a relationship in the context of a crush, as you've mentioned, means you want to get in her pants. She never rejected you. You rejected yourself by saying that you had a crush on her when she's taken twice over. Your rules are unnecessary and weird, especially when you signed it off as us, the mods that wrote it. Your constant pinging of people is also strange. I get pinging people to reply to them, but you don't need to ping people unless it's a direct reply. Also, mental disabilities are no excuse for that kind of behavior. I have DID and ADHD.
Oh. Huh. DID. I didn't think so. You know what? I won't say that because that's actually disrespectful of me to say. I didn't think someone like Aqua could have DID. Because I have it myself. Anyone can get it. So, I'm just gonna take back what I was about to say. What I was about to say was, Huh, that's impressive. I didn't think someone like Aqua would have that. But yeah, this is the first time we're actually getting Aqua in this whole argument. So I don't know them that at all, actually. So, yeah. Okay.
And never have I ever blamed my shitty attitude on that. They are your mental issues. That doesn't mean you get to push it onto others. Next, your proof is blurry screenshots that cannot be read. I've seen the document. Now, let's talk about when you tried joining in on Sypha, Jay's, and Atlas's banter. As Jay mentioned, those three have been in the server ever since the server was created. They have a friendship that allows for that kind of banter. I occasionally join in, of course, because I'm active enough, and I've been there for about a year. Also, the memes were weird as hell, and more often than not isn't the reaction meme that people are expecting, or at the times people wanted to see it, and the Omni-Man ass never fit into the conversation. Now, for the last point, I'd like to circle back to my first point, as there's more I want to add there. So you stated that Jess made a video about you, and she hasn't. She's been far too busy with school, so nice lie. Next, she didn't use you for your knowledge, as you claimed. She literally knew more than you did, as you couldn't even subdivide a cube automatically. You had to do it by hand. I wish I could make this longer, but I don't have Nitro, but there's more, and there will be another message.
Jesus Christ, Aqua, just keep it coming.
Here are the screenshots that are not blurry. Continuing on, you tried covering your ass constantly, even though we literally have screenshots with full context, and before you say, I never said that, or whatever, we have backups of the conversation, and we have over a dozen screenshots. And we probably have the same ones, so please, do send.
Remind me, if I ever manage to get into this group, like, after a few years, maybe. If I get in this group, remind me not to piss these people off. I'll remind myself that, actually. Because I don't want to deal with Atlas, because that guy's terrifying, but I think Aqua's more terrifying than he is. So, yeah.
He sends over the screenshot from our confrontation with him, and since we lost the logs, I actually used his screenshots to recover what we had lost from that conversation, as I've already shown them. These screenshots would also prove that she was in fact lacking knowledge on how to subdivide a cube.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I might hate 3D modeling, but I've still done it for 5 years, just with a different program. I know how to subdivide a cube already. I just wanted a faster way to figure out how to build the item without having to watch the teacher's videos. And since Titan claimed he could teach me faster than the videos, I naively thought he knew how to model in Blender, which he didn't know as much as he claimed he did. I never stated once in our conversation that I didn't know how to subdivide a cube, and furthermore, these screenshots don't prove what you're saying. The first one is that of our DMs, which I didn't say anywhere that I didn't know how to subdivide. The second two screenshots are duplicates. Duplicates of a conversation with my editor, Fish, talking about programming, or whatever. I don't program. It has nothing to do with the claim that you're making. Did you think that no one was going to look through the screenshots that you sent? And you just sent 2 filler screenshots to make it look like you had evidence when you didn't? The person who made the group chat for Titan told him that he should let it go, and so does my girlfriend. That person then gives the ownership of this group chat to my girlfriend, and everyone proceeded to leave, which is why I was able to be added in and take these screenshots into evidence, because I realize I should probably start documenting what he's doing. It definitely ended there, right, cartoonist? Ha! No, we're only getting started. I told you this was a long one.
Alright, this is where we're gonna end the video here, because we're an hour in now, and I didn't realize we were in... wait, no. Shit, we can't end it here. Fuck! Ah! Ah, it's fine, alright. The dawn of the second document!
2 days after this group chat was disbanded.
So probably... when we get to here... Oh my gosh.
My moderator Fish received this message. Guys, this is getting sad. Feel free to give this doc to anyone, or not look at it, I guess. I don't know. What's this one? More details about the situation.
Titan! It could have ended there. You could have shut up and not talked to them again. Golly!
Clever about that voice for fish, because his profile picture is a guy in a scuba mask, so I covered my mouth with my hand so it sounds like I'm wearing a mask. I am a genius. I am so sleep deprived.
I feel bad. When we get to the 2-hour mark,
I hope
I'll
this helps.
decide when it ends.
Is this a script?
Oh, it is a scuba dive. I thought it was a camera. I thought it was a camera! No, it's a scuba helmet. Is that a fish on the inside of it? Is that like a mouth?
Yes, an unorganized script for a video I will never have to make, ever. What is this about Purple Men's 10 Commandments fuck you style? They were saying I did that just to offend them. I was being repeatedly ignored, so I thought I could make a joke using dark humor. Titan, didn't you say those rules were for you to socialize better? That's why I used color coding. The red is to symbolize my mistakes, as well as green representing a mutually occurrence of mistakes. Both-sided mistakes. You put a lot of thought into this.
He's defending himself too hard. Or at least trying.
Like I said, this will never come to light as long as nukes or videos are not introduced. That would be like saying, hey guys...
Alright guys, I'll cut you a solid, okay? Because I'm tired. So... halfway through when we get to, like, here, or, like, at a moment where I'm able to stop, probably around this area, that's when I'm gonna cut it off, because I'm tired, I wanna go, but I wanna make this video, so, and I'm already an hour in, so I'd best just keep going.
Look at this creepy dude who got assaulted. Who does this? Nukes? Video that could be made about me. The key word here is could. That would be like a nuke. I was trying to say that a video that could be made about me while lacking context in key areas such as this, that would be a disservice to many people.
I'm gonna... Now you're saying that what you're saying is, I don't even know where to begin. It's something to do with the whole, they made a video of you. They haven't even started making a video of you till this point. And you're saying you like thought they were, I think. I'm not sure. I didn't really pay attention to your bullshit, okay?
You know, even if she did make a video about you, it's not like it would affect you that much. It's not like she would ruin your life, or could for that matter. Have you ever seen YouTube with content creators saying false assault allegations?
I'm not sure if y'all can hear it. I am punching the shit out of my desk. I'm getting tired of his bull!
Sure, this would be way less than that, but what if my future employer sees that Hal Stewart has sexually harassed a woman in 2025? That shit can ruin lives, dude. Is that your full legal name? Yes.
What the hell is your problem?
I don't need to explain that I never accused Titan of something that serious. He was socially harassing me and my fans, of course, but sexually harassing me? No, I've never...
Let's go ahead and read that. What is the meaning of social harassment? Socially harassment includes any behavior that makes someone feel uncomfortable, threatened, or intimidated. This can encompass bullying, spreading rumors, making offensive comments, or engaging in aggressive behavior. Harassment. Noun. Harassment. Plural noun. Harassments. Not sure that's important. I don't know why I screamed about that. Aggressive pressure or intimidation. They face daily harassment and assault on the streets. I'm gonna slap you, Titan.
Harassing me and my fans, of course, but sexually harassing me? No, I've never said that. And keep in mind, he hasn't seen me say anything on the topic since my announcement, and yet he's continuing to draw attention to himself.
Yeah, that's a fair point. She's been silent for a while now, buddy. What are you talking about? Ever since she made that post, or that announcement, I meant to say. Sorry. I'm just all worked up. Ever since she made that, she hasn't spoken a single word to you.
Yes, and they know my name because they have my license details. I needed it to get into the not safe for work section.
You gave that to them! Oh my gosh!
Honestly, I think the less attention you draw to this, the less likely she'll make a video. Good! Yet, another person warning him that the more attention he draws to himself with the lies he's making up, the more likely I'll make a video defending myself. And
Which
quick
you
side
did.
note, like I said, I'd never dox him. If he draws attention to himself after this, that's his choice. But considering I've spent days going through and censoring his username, it shows how much I respect his privacy, even though I don't like him. But you're DMing people, you're making this more public. Because I want them to know what happened.
They don't even know what the fuck is going on! They don't need to know what's happening. You're causing this to be a lot more of an issue than it already is, buddy. They don't need to know what's going on.
If somebody said, Fish just harassed someone, I think you would be mad, and rightfully so. My advice? Let it go,
bro.
I'm watching this from the sidelines, and I'm pretty confident that she would just forget about all of this as long as she doesn't keep getting bigger. The more people know, the more that they'll ask her about it, and the more she'll be pressured into making a video. Okay. I think it's over for now. Poor, sweet moderator. It was indeed not over.
Whoa. What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
My
I
gosh.
can't believe you. All your gifts, all your powers.
Document
you
2.
squander them for your own personal gain.
Yes.
No!
Now, before we move on to the next thing he did, let's go over the second, much longer document. A lot of this is just repeated stuff from earlier. I feel like you guys are smart enough that I don't need to repeat myself more than I've already have. So let's read over the document. I'll only pause if I have something to add, or if this is new information I need to defend myself on. All good? I know I can't hear you, but I'm gonna assume it's a yes.
Yes.
I have color-coded everything in here because it helps people read it better, and no confusion will be shown to what I'm saying, so you can't take everything out of context. Here are the topics and their colors. Purple, everything that has to do with cartoonists specifically. Red is everything that has to do with my own issues and lack of social understanding. Blue, everything mentioned about me being inappropriate to anyone inside of the server itself, or issues that others have with me. Orange is everything mentioned about me helping others, including feats done to help fish, and any advice given to anyone or help that I've put forth. Green is any feats of overwhelming ignorance and or lack of communication from both parties. So, Titan has taken the time to color code the document, making it increasingly more difficult to read, as he had picked the worst, most saturated colors known to my eyeballs. At the very least, he gave me purple. Okay, let's begin. P.S. Here's a screenshot to prove that the group conversation actually happened, so you don't have the excuse of ignorance.
You're one to talk!
Notice from this first screenshot, he only shows my girlfriend's message. Completely out of context. You know, not the messages of the people saying they don't want to be involved or telling him that he needs to let this go. I clearly acknowledged in this video that the group chat happened, even though I wasn't actively involved with it whatsoever. I just collected the screenshots after that painful aftermath and talked to those involved just to clear the air. I was quite literally the cleanup crew to your own actions. The following messages will not be color-coded, as I would like
If these are exactly how the messages were sent, I'm gonna just do a little representation here. I'm one of the people in the group, minding my own business, till I suddenly stumble upon the argument. I get it in it myself, saying all the stuff I've said right now. I see the fucking screenshots of my own. I ask him, am I supposed to be speaking fucking gibberish when I read this? Like, what am I seeing here, buddy? Oh, and cartoonist, you said you were going to see this video, so I apologize for my swearing. When I'm pissed, when I'm pissed the heck off, I'm gonna try to slow it down from there. When I'm really upset, got the fly. When I'm really upset about stuff like this, I just let it all out. Because I tell myself it's better to let my emotions out than hold them in. Though I probably should let them out later, like punching something, because that's what always helps me. Let's see, let's try to read this. My silence is me not being able to read fuck.
What to see these messages? I'm not sure if she's colorblind, so I'll just make an
Piss off. It's blurry. She's not colorblind.
exception here. The screenshots appeared blurry because you have issues with your eyes. Atlas told me about this in chat before, which shows that he at least trusted me a little, and that Jess or even Jay has at least 10% disdain for you, for making you do this. Hell, I wouldn't even make my closest friends destroy another person. I would allow them to do it within their own volition. You want to talk about manipulation? Then why did Jay or Jess make you do this then? Did you feel an intrinsic need? My girlfriend did do it out of her own volition. She'd do it a million times over again if it meant making sure that I'd never have to think about you again, Titan. And reminder, Titan, you were stating that you'd tried dating her partner, aka me. Most people, whenever their partner is being hit on and they can tell that their partner is extremely uncomfortable with that, they'd move mountains just to make sure their partner is away from people like you who make them feel unsafe.
I would.
If you think my proficiency is just within Blender alone, please wait 5 years when I have a team of 10 programmers working for my corporation!
You ain't gonna have shit! You probably don't have shit. Because you said wait 5 years. It's been 1 year. You're probably fucking on the frickin' curb. Sorry about my swearing again. Jess, if you do see this video. Ugh! Titan, Hal, I don't really care what I call you. Might just call you Pissy Fit from now on because you are throwing major toddler tantrum over what the hell is going on. You could have taken Fish's advice. Shut up. Let it go. It's fucking socialism. It doesn't go well at times. It might not be socialism, I'm not sure. Apologies if it wasn't. But it's an app, dude! Arguments happen. You can leave. There is a leave the group button. Just leave.
I was saying more to the effect that Jess wants to make a video on me, but you're right. I misused my words. Good catch, actually. Titan, you can't read my mind just as much as I can't read yours. If they thought it didn't fit into the conversation, why were they saying things like, oh, I could tell that was the Baki art style, lol, because they have a 3-year relationship, Titan?
Actually, a 1-year relationship.
Wow, so that gives them the right to criticize me whenever I talk to them and try to understand them. Wild world, man.
You're saying we can't read. You can't read.
Wild world. The link for that meme is here. It was an actual meme in 2023. You know, like the ones y'all post every now and
No one cares about the meme! Like, we have gone past the meme at this point. She's probably gonna say something about it.
then. Can't get into somebody's pants if you're asexual. Nobody knew you were asexual before this moment, nor does it matter to your argument. Asexuality is a spectrum. Asexual people can still have sex. Most of them don't. Some of them only do it to make their partner happy, or just the fact that some ace people are more neutral towards sex. And being asexual doesn't inherently mean that being in a relationship is not a possibility. And if you are truly asexual, why didn't this come up earlier? If you have done your stupid, I have a crush on cartoonish joke, which is not a joke, and I did my reply where I'm like, hey, it's okay if you have a crush, but can you not make comments like that? you could have been like, oh, it was a joke, I'm asexual, haha, and I would have been like, hey, cool, it's cool that you're asexual, but, like, can you not make jokes like that about me?
You had not said a single thing about being asexual till this point, actually. That's just you making up more shit, possibly. Let's just keep going.
And then everything would have been hunky-dory fine and a happy ending for everyone. But no, you're only bringing this up now because it suits your argument, or at the very least, you think it suits your argument. Can't get into somebody's pants if you're asexual because of past SA trauma with your stepbrother when you were 12, now can you, Aqua? You see how fucking crazy the situation truly
You hadn't mentioned anything of that, dumbass!
is? By that logic, I should be more of a misogynist that just hates all women that say that they have been raped or sexually assaulted.
Whoa! Okay. No!
Because
Whoops.
it can never happen to a guy, right? Because by that same logic, Jess could just say, damn, you got raped. That's so funny, bro. LOLOL. You're too ugly. A woman/man would never rape you and get away with it too, either in chat or on live air. Here are the statistics on male rape, just in case you say you were not raped, even though I was by a dude who I consider to be my stepbrother. You want—
That is not what she said. She didn't say anything remotely close to that. That is a stupid example. No one said anything about this. You are just making shit up.
wanted to know, so here you go. He then goes on a really disturbing rant here, and I will say this, Titan. I am very, very sorry that that traumatizing experience has happened to you. However, that does not give you the right to make such disgusting accusations towards me or my girlfriend. Me nor my girlfriend would ever say that to any kind of victim of any kind of abuse. Especially when me and my partners have our own histories with that subject. The fact that you are accusing me of saying or even thinking something like that shows that you truly knew nothing about me as a person at all. This point did not need to be brought up as it has nothing to do with what happened between us. A lot of people that I know have been SA'd, including myself, including my family members, including my partners, the ones that I love, and none of us would ever even think of doing anything close to what you did. I can feel sympathetic to what you've been through, but by accusing me or my girlfriend of even thinking something like that, you're only proving that your goal in mentioning your SA was in a way to make us look bad. Any of my fans would know that I would never, ever say anything close to that. I need to stop getting emotional. It's affecting how my voice sounds.
I'm generally getting even more pissed off. Everything he's saying is making her emotional, and it's okay to be emotional. Jess, cartoonist, whichever one you're okay with people using. Just gonna continue to call you cartoonist because don't know you, so. But this is getting me even more upset. Because the stuff he's saying is making her have to... got the fly. Is making her have to remind him of the stuff that she and her partners have been through. That's not something you want to relive. You wouldn't want to relive that either, yet you just made yourself relive it. And then you're forcing others to relive it just to make a point. Oh, and don't say some bullshit like, oh, they didn't have to say that stuff. You're making them say that stuff. Because when this shit happens, when you say that all this stuff in the red right here, they have to say something to clear themselves on what they were meaning. You were just meaning to do something else entirely. I'm not sure if I could believe this. I am very sorry for you if that did happen, but that gives you no right to do what you're doing. Get it together. Cartoonist, I am very sorry that you had to go through this. I've never been through that essay crap myself. But I know it's not a fun experience, because I've seen videos of something similar. Some similar shit to it. And I know it's not pleasant, so I'm very sorry. I am very sorry for what you went through. And I'm very sorry for you too, Titan. But you're doing this to yourself. That's all I'm gonna say now.
So, as soon as I interject into a conversation when people are talking about weird stuff, I become the predator / weird / creepy. But because they have a 3-year friendship, this allows them to shoot the shit at each other without consequence, while I was just trying to understand them. Sure, I meant...
They don't know you. They've known each other a lot longer. Also, not a fucking 3-year friendship. It's 1 year.
mentioned her being busy with school and being sick down below. Nice try. You may have not written the rules themselves, but you probably thought of it, which is way worse than you think it is. Do I even need to comment on this? None of us were thinking your rules were anything that we wanted to follow. You see what I mean when I said that he thinks something so absurd so much inside of his own head, he starts thinking that everyone has the same thoughts as he does?
Yeah, and it's really starting to piss me off even more. We're getting to the end of this video. Good, because it's almost 2 hours long.
Titan, we are our own individuals. None of us were thinking it would be cool to say, let me get the commandments again. Don't speak / talk about anything personal to anyone anywhere on any channel. You are not allowed to have the same rights as us, so we will mute you accordingly. Like, as a fucking owner of a server, I would never think to say that to anyone.
I'm an owner of a few servers of myself, actually. I wouldn't think to say that to anyone, too, because that's just unneeded.
I wasn't using my disability as an excuse. I was using it as a reference as to why I do what I do. I know how to subdivide a cube, too. Control+R+ mouse, so yeah, I knew how to subdivide a cube, but not on a Macintosh as cartoonist wanted.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
I have a MacBook Pro, actually. Distinct and salient points. The 10 commandment thing was in reference to the mod team. I didn't ask for anyone to follow these commandments. Rather, I was only going to follow them myself. And because I was joking about it, and the triad mentioned was actually the nuclear triad, or even the holy triad, or holy trinity.
If there's anyone smarter than I am out there, that can break down all of this, just all of this in general, because I can't, I'm smart, but I'm not this smart. And I can't break down all of this. That actually might make me not as smart, but you get what I mean.
It was not at all the Chinese triad as you're suggesting. If we go by his line of thinking that it was either the nuclear triad or the Holy Trinity, it's still very telling on how Titan views my relationship from his perspective. He either views it as something destructive or something that's above him, i.e. a nuclear force or a religious godly connotation, respectively. I felt ignored as fuck, and I did nothing before these 3 events to be deserving to be treated this way. And even then, it was probably not worth it to ban me, because I was not given enough room to expand on what I meant. Titan, quite frankly, I wish I banned you sooner. He was given plenty of room and time. He had after he asked to be my friend, and I said no, I don't know you that well. He could have done it after he confessed that he had a crush and wanted to make it work with me despite my relationship status. And I told him that it's normal to have a crush on a content creator. What's not normal is that he'll act upon these desires that he has. Forcing any kind of relationship with anyone is deplorable. I was not upset because you rejected me for a level 10 relationship. No, I was upset because you had rejected my friendship as an acquaintance. However, I wasn't a—
She did not reject your friendship! Oh my gosh!
directly talking with you or about you. I was talking to Mustard about relationship advice via the Not Safe for Work chat, as some of you may know. I know I don't have a right to a relationship, and I wasn't asking for the rights to do anything. But even still, I felt as if you didn't give a singular fuck about me at all. He keeps contradicting himself and his intentions. He goes back and forth from, I don't want any kind of relationship with you, to, I felt ignored and that's why I'm acting like this. And again, as I've said, forcing any kind of relationship with anyone is an awful thing to do. And
bring your agent into Monday.com.
Piss off, ChatGPT or whatever it is.
ChatGPT and Copilot agent.
Also, are you sure you weren't talking about me, Titan? Because that entire conversation looked like you were talking a whole lot about Cartoonist. I understand that you were sick and had 6 classes.
No, you don't.
However, this still doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole.
You were the asshole.
Your associates have so brazenly called me. Why didn't you just talk to me about how you were feeling then?
Because you wouldn't have gotten it. That's why she didn't talk to you.
Or hell, have Atlas and Aqua talk to me in place of yourself.
Did I? Oh! They already talked to you enough!
Titan, it's clear from the way you interact with people and have dealt and continue to deal with this situation that you do not listen to people when they tell you things.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cartoonist.
I told you no, politely, that I don't want to be your friend, and you took that as you having the ability to date me a few days later. So even if I did, I doubt that you would have listened. In addition to this, I said the words I felt dirty, implying that I was SA'd in the past, which I actually was SA'd in the past by my stepbrother, and even then I didn't go into full details of everything there as well, but since you have forced this issue, yes, I was talking about that specifically in relation to people betraying your trust to Mustard. Ironic, huh?
Oh my
God forbid a
God.
man throw salt behind his back to let others know when he's struggling. Again, I am so sorry that this happened to you, but once more, this has nothing to do with the topic at hand. Me and both my partners have been through our own situations with SA, and we don't do any of the things that you've done to other people. You have taken this situation and blown it completely out of proportion, and yet you blame it on me when you're the only one who has brought this up. The pain diagram I was referring to was a reference to a 1 to 10 scale. Here, let me show you the graph. I only ever wanted to be at a level 1, and I was not seeking a parasocial relationship with you at all, or with anyone for that matter. If this is bullshit, then why did I stop pinging you about that specifically in DMs or in chat? The only time that Titan stopped pinging and DMing me was the day I banned and blocked him, and was only talking to other parties about relationship advice. I'm no relationship guru, but even a blind and semi-deaf man could tell that context is needed to make a full conclusion.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean, huh?
Yes, context is needed to make a conclusion, and I'm the only one so far between us who's managed to provide that. I have nothing to hide. And I know some people might not agree with my decision to make this video or my actions in this situation, but the context and honesty is what's needed to show why I did what I did in this situation.
Screw those people. You had all the reason to. He forced you to. Well, technically he didn't force you to. You made this video on your own account, but you get what I mean if you actually, you know what, never mind. Actually, apologies.
I stopped actively being part of the situation after making my announcement because I did not want to be dealing with you since banning you, nor did I want to continue being asked about you anymore. The only reason this video is being made is because you have and will continue to be an issue for me in my community. At the very least, now people will know the truth of the matter instead of believing your false and disgusting accusations. Why didn't
Yes!
you just ask and say, Titan, who are you talking to about your personal experience? Well, I don't have to. Then why throw a fit when you don't know what's going on? Ignorance isn't a good look, cartoonist.
What?! You know what? Not gonna say it.
Titan, I genuinely have no idea what you're—
Because she's gonna say it. Please. Fucking lecture him.
talking about in this last part here, and everyone I asked what you're saying in this part of the document has no idea what you're talking about either. It's like just straight up gibberish. Like, I know you're speaking English, but like what you're saying in that part makes no point. Usually mini paragraphs would on average be 3 sentences. If a full-on paragraph is 5 sentences, I would only have sent a mini paragraph once or twice. The rest of the time I kept everything under 3 sentences, and the stuff I was saying wasn't even creepy. Since you like definitions so much, Titan, I looked it up, and the minimum number of sentences to be considered a paragraph are 3, but regardless, in the way you formatted your messages, I was constantly, like, bap, 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 getting pinged by you, which is why I muted our DMs, because it felt rude to block you at that point in time. Also, in addition, if you didn't want to respond to me, why didn't you just tell me in DMs and say—
Because she doesn't have to, bucko! If she doesn't respond to you, that means she's just not in the mood to talk. That's basic knowledge right there. You're the one talking about smartest and shit.
Hey, yo, Titan, stop talking to me, bro, instead of ignoring me. Like I said, I have autism, so that makes it harder to accurately assess social situations. This is yet another reason why I have made the commandments. I can't know something if you don't speak up. And that goes for the entire mod team, except for Jay, because he actually did tell me, but he's not a mod, so it doesn't count. Like me and others have told him, no response means the other person does not want to engage with you. Since he's in his 20s, and for those of you who read the group chat screenshots, he said he was diagnosed with autism since the age of 3. So he should know damn well by now, instead of arguing like he's not an adult, that no one is entitled to be talked to, even if that's to tell you to stop. Silence means no. Remember in school, watching that video about tea and how it represented consent? If someone isn't saying anything in regards to wanting tea or not, you don't proceed to shove your tea down their throat. The only time someone is consenting is a non-coerced yes. Even if I did talk to you, considering how you took none of my other no's, why would you suddenly listen to me then? I had only talked to Fish and others, not because I wanted to bother them, but rather because I wanted to settle this issue within a group chat, which, by the way, you didn't even join. Aqua had to fill in for Atlas and you. If I would have known going to Atlas would have been the better option, as they were saying within the group chat, I would have done it already. In all fairness, Titan, I never received an invite to it, nor did I know it was even happening until I was told, and you, specifically, told the people in the group chat not to add my boyfriend. Regardless, I would have refused, but you can't blame me for not doing something if the invitation wasn't extended to me.
Nor if they never even knew about it to begin with. You didn't tell anyone to tell her about it either.
In addition, Jay was being racist too by saying the N-word at the beginning of this conversation.
You asked for that, honestly.
When he himself was white, which is also really bad. As I've said, I can't control what someone does outside of my server. I'm not responsible for his actions as he's not a mod. I'm not going to take responsibility for actions that are not truly my own. That's how I operate. Jay already knows about how I feel about his language, and as long as he doesn't do it around me or within my server, there's quite literally nothing I can do. I scolded him when I found out what happened, because I knew that you'd somehow pretend like I'm responsible for the actions of someone else over the internet. I'd understand if he was a moderator, maybe, sure, but Jay is a fan over the internet, just like you are, Titan, and I'm not gonna take responsibility or blame for either of your actions. When a fan of someone like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye does something bad outside of their realm of their control, do you blame the YouTuber? No! Because we're human beings who can only control so few things in our lives. Jay lives in a place where saying that word is normal, and he understood when I told him my views on it, and that as long as he didn't say it within the bounds of my control or around me, he was free to stay. And it's been a year and a half, and he hasn't said the N-word in my server, or to me. Just like in real life, when someone says a word you don't like, all you can really do is tell them not to say it around you, and that's what I did. And I don't use any slurs in my day-to-day life, but I can't control what other people say. I'm a human, I'm not gonna stress over things that I cannot control, and I can't control what everyone in the world does. Now, I'm not saying it's good what he said, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that I shouldn't be responsible for the actions of a stranger over the internet. Just like I'm not taking responsibility.
Personally, I don't say slurs either. I just say swears, which they're not even close to as good as it, but you still shouldn't say them. I just say them because I've been saying them for a long time, and there's no point in just stopping now. And plus, if I get upset, I just blur them out. I've been trying, honestly, to get better.
Responsibility for the fact that you are harassing my fans over the fact that you're upset that I rejected you. Now let's just move on before a vein actually pops from my forehead.
Here's where we're gonna stop it from there. Alright? We're just gonna stop there. Alright. So, there are gonna be probably 4 parts to this, guys. Sorry. So, because it's taken a while, and we're only halfway done, but, no. We are more than halfway done! We got this! But I have no words for this guy right now. I need to finish this entirely to actually have thoughts on it. And this is a 2-hour-long video so far, so... Because I intended it to be 1 hour. But it got to 2. So, I'm gonna just stop yapping. And, Cartoonist, if you see this video, just know I'm sorry for what you had to go through. I thought it wasn't as bad at first, but you were right. Just wait, and, just wait, and we'll see how bad it truly got. And I am so sorry for what you went through. That is hell all over again. Okay. Alright, y'all. I hope y'all have a good day. And, I forgot how to do my outro. I don't have one. Peace.